Space by Ken Rockwell. While we're on the subject of innovation and competition, I was going to go on today about how sad it is that America's government has failed the world so sadly that we've not been back to the moon for almost 40 years. 40 years ago, we were flying men there and back every several months. It was the space age. America proved to the world that nothing is impossible. We gave the entire world hope. While sadly, today stupider people write me and think that we could never do it again. What morons! If we did it in 1969, 1970, 1971, and 1972 with 1960s technology, we certainly could be doing it today if we had leaders. America had an active program to get back to the moon today, but current management canceled the world's hope. When God sits back and looks at what man has done, he was impressed when we managed to get off our own planet a few times. What have we done recently? Winning the Tour de France 7 times in a row is unheard of, but it's competing against other men. Flying to the moon is competition against barriers set by God, not other men. In 1967, before we even sent men to the moon in 1969, motion pictures like Planet of the Apes showed the world that by 1973, we'd be flying between other worlds. Watch the film. It was set in 1973, just 5 years ahead of when it was made. And Charlton Heston nonchalantly flew light years away to another inhabited planet, the Planet of the Apes. In the 1960s, America's government fulfilled its obligations to lead the world into great accomplishment that business and individuals couldn't. Only government had the power and we did it. Yes, I have a real problem with the fact that dreams of space cover my kids' pajamas with Apollo rockets and lunar excursion modules, and moons and Saturns and stars, and no one has enough hair on their lower extremities to get men back into space where we've already been over 40 years ago. Orbiting around the Earth is cute, but America had monkeys and rockets in the 1940s, and the Russians got a dog in orbit in 1957. My generation did something worth dreaming about on kids' pajamas. What will my kids' generation have to show for themselves to put on my grandkids' pajamas? Pictures of zombies posting to Facebook? President Kennedy had the vision to say, "Screw you guys and your orbiting dog. We're going to send men to the moon." And we did it under Nixon's watch. The world had leadership and vision, not just politicians too busy seeing who can send them the most lobbying money. Kennedy even had the guts to put a date on it. When politicians debate today, no one has the guts to put a date on something big, like energy independence, to which we can hold them in the future. Even the communists did 5-year plans. America got men to the moon in less than 10 years after Kennedy promised it, and we were there on time. Holy crap! That was like promising to cure cancer by 2020. Today, nada. By 1973, we should have had men on their way to other planets, and by the 1980s, ought to have been flying to other galaxies. As a 7-year-old, I saw mankind achieve glorious things beyond anything ever imagined. My neighbors on Long Island were all working at Grumman, where we designed and built the LEM that landed on the moon. Every day at school, each kid would come in and excitedly brag about what his dad did yesterday to help us get one step closer. We took it for granted that that's what we did as Americans, fly farther, higher, and faster just because we could dream it. We got to the moon with little more computing power than slide rules. Honest, all those guys at Grumman, there were no personal computers for 10 more years. Most of the calculations were done on slide rules. What useful have we done with all the computing power at our disposal? The internet was also invented in 1969 by DARPA, thank you. I was really hoping that by age 50, mankind would really accomplish something beyond what lies beyond our imagination. But nothing. What is government doing with all my tax money? Nothing much that we couldn't do by spending it smarter ourselves today. As individuals, we can hire our own fire, police, military, and package delivery. But as individuals, we could use a little leadership to help us make our dreams reality and get a man to Mars. Oh well, pooh. As in business, there is no one here to help us but ourselves in this competitive world. Government isn't the answer. We need individuals to step up to the plate and create a new space program to get us out of Earth's orbit and back into space travel. Now then we'd have some photo opportunities.